Good afternoon, everybody. And yes, Andy Kelly's making wild comments behind me here. So, so it's going to be one of those fun, crazy days. And this is our 1970s class, which I absolutely love, on a Wednesday at 12:30 in the Villages. And today we are doing The Carpenters' Top of the World. We are in the 70s book. Now, I also want you to start thinking, as you can see, we're getting towards the end of the book. What I would like to do, and this is my suggestion only, is when we are done with the 70s, I would like to go into a 60s book. Okay, now there are several of them out there, and we'll keep this one kind of pigeonholed in a in a decade, and we'll keep the Monday class a little bit more generic as far as our songs go. So if that agrees with you, there are several 60s books out there. There's the Essential 60s, which I think is book number 52. And then there is the Decade series, just like what our 70s is. And if you want to know what the songs are, go to halleonard.com, look them up, and check the songs, because I will be taking a vote on which one, and then we can get things ordered. Because we are getting towards the end, and it's time to start looking for which book we want to use.
Mine is
Okay.
the new Decade series.
The Decade series is the one we are in right now.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
this is 60s.
But it would be the 1960s, correct? It would be
Yeah.
that same series.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And the cover is going to look the same, only it's going to have all the different
Yeah.
pictures on the front.
Okay.
Yeah. So take a look and see, and start checking that out and see which one you like. Or if the class overwhelmingly says no, we don't want to do that, then we'll do something else. So this is your class. I will do what you guys want to do. Good music is just good music, and I have no problems making arrangements for any of it. Okay, so here we go, Top of the World. This is actually an easy song. Easy. Now I say that. The original tempo is 184. So 184 is going to put you up there in tempo. I did write out the intro, and I made it easier. They actually had, here comes Bob. Let me get him in. They actually had one chord per note. And so I simplified it, and I have one chord per measure pretty much. And I am going to use two presets for your intro. I am also giving you a whole page of of presets, and they're very easy. But if you learn one thing from doing your preset page, that's a good thing. Now, that being said, you don't have to do any presets on this one. You can pick the right rhythm, and as we're learning, the right rhythm or music style is the most important thing we can do for the song. Because if it sounds right, then it doesn't really matter what preset we use. The sound is inconsequential. We can use any sound we want. If the rhythm is right, then the song is going to sound right, and you can sing it in any voice you want, any sound that you want to use. I do already have a couple of mistakes that we have found. Thank you, Andy, for helping me find those. When you get your preset sheet, and those of you that picked up preset sheets earlier today, when it says basic country, for those of you that have two different countries, it's country one. It's country one, basic country number one, because there's two different countries. So that's one of the mistakes. The other one is A5. And just take a note, A5, it says upper tabs, turn on string 4. That's a mistake. It should say upper tabs, turn on string 8. So I made a typo with my numbers. I didn't double check it. So turn on string 8 instead of string 4, and that's in A5. Okay? So basically, I'm just doing an awful lot of turning on strings on your tabs. Now, what do tabs actually do? Your lower tabs are on this side. Lower tabs, where do they go? They're going to your left hand chord. The tabs are the sound that go to your left hand chord. So if all you've got is the easy button on, these are the sounds that you are actually hearing, the tab sounds. All right, your upper tabs are from the middle all the way over this side, and sometimes even over in the purple theater section. Those are also considered upper tabs. So don't forget that those are there. But what I'm doing is I am using an awful lot of strings today, strings and vocal ensemble. You will be touching those and putting them on and off. And it just makes the sound thicker. Now, for most organs, the upper tabs go to the upper keyboard. Those of you that have marquees, I think it actually starts with an Inspire. Inspire, Rialto, Marquis, Grand Marquis Aria. You have a tab that says upper tabs to lower right. And so those organs also have a choice of putting these tabs down here. The rest of us only can have the upper tabs on the upper keyboard. So if that's the only thing you learned today, you did good. For those of you that have smaller instruments, you can put this on country. You can put this on gospel. So try your gospel revival. That'll work as well. Country swing also works for this. That is your country number 1 with no variation. So you can try several different backgrounds on this. And as far as sounds, I'm using a combination of country guitars, 70s piano, and I'm using 70s piano pretty much just for the intro and ending. But I will tell you this, if you like that sound, use it for the whole song because it works. It's a good sound. I just decided to use the country guitar for my main sound, meaning Karen's vocals, Karen's voice when she sings the song. All right. What's the best way to approach this? It is a 6-page song. Let's do the roadmap first, and then I will play the song so at least you can follow. All right. It goes fast, and we're going to play all of page 1, all of page 2. Oh, I forgot to read what the song is about. I'll do that next. All of page 3, or 298. All of page 4, or 299. We still have more pages. All of page 300, and then at the top of page 301, you have your first ending with some dots. So you want to make those dots a color. And where is it sending you back to? Beginning, all the way back to the beginning. So you want to put that same color in between the 4/4 and the very first note, which is a C. Okay, now we need another color. All of page 1, all of page 2, all of page 3, all of page 4, all of page 5. And then when you get to the top of page 301, you're going to put a little colorful 2 right after, or I should say right before the first ending. And if you want, you can put an arrow down to the second ending. Now, that being said, you're going to make 2, 3. The second ending is going to be the second and third ending. So the second time you play it, you're going to put 2 double lines between the first and second measure, right there at the end of the second, right there at the end of the bracket. You're going to put 2 double lines, your parallel lines, and you're going to put a DS. That means go back to the silly sign. Uh-oh, we need a different color for that. Go back to the silly sign. So the second time you play it, we're going to go back to the silly sign. Where is the silly sign? I have to make one. There is none. That's why I'm adding to the song. So the silly sign, you are going to turn back 1 page to page 299. And at the beginning of line 3, you are going to make your silly sign, which looks like a price tag with some dots on either side of it. And you're going to play the chorus, I'm on the top of the world, again. It just makes the song even longer. Why not? Because we can. And so you're going to play the rest of page 299, all of page 300. When you get to the top of the page, the second and third ending are going to split off at the same spot and go to the same place. So exactly what you did for second ending is what you're going to do for the third ending. And then you're going to play the ending. This last part of the song is just going to be your ending. So all I'm doing is putting a DS go back to the silly sign so you can play the chorus twice. Guess what? If you don't want to do that, just finish the song. Okay? Not a big deal. Not a big
Dawn,
deal. Yes,
the third ending is at the second ending as well. Same
correct.
place.
Correct. It's 2, comma 3.
Number 2, and then that becomes number 3 as well.
Correct.
Okay. And above that, at that point, you put the DS as well.
I put that at the, you have a second ending, play it for one measure, and then right there in between measure 1 and measure 2, put your 2 parallel lines and put DS. And you're only going to do that the second time.
Dawn,
Yes,
what if I want to go back to the beginning and play it again?
go ahead.
Because this is one of my favorite songs.
Then play the whole song again. If you love the song, you can repeat as many times as you want. Okay? So
Okay.
absolutely. If you love the song,
It is one of my favorites.
it's a wonderful song. Now, if 184 is too fast, slow it down. The original song, the Carpenters' original recording, is at 184 beats a minute. It goes fast, which is why the 6 pages go real fast. If you don't like flipping pages, which I don't usually like flipping pages either, make copies, and you can put a couple of them together, put 2 or 3 of them together, and then you want to get yourself a long piece of cardboard. If you live in the villages and you need one, thank you very much to Mona. I have several long pieces of cardboard that I can give you so that you can just lay them all across, or paper clip them to the top of the cardboard, and it works. Okay? Otherwise, you have to do some flinging and some messing around. And you see me do that in concert all the time. It's actually easier to do that than it is to flip pages. Flipping pages is not the easiest thing in the world. I'm going to try it today. And yes, I am one of those stupid corner folders, and I shouldn't do that. If you're going to use a page turner, the easiest thing to do, don't fold your corners because they will eventually rip off. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Get yourself some of those address labels that you get in the mail. You always get address labels from St. Jude's or some other places where you donate to, and then they send you address labels. Fold them in half. Just fold them in half and leave a little tab hanging out. Okay? And that just gives you something to grab onto so you can flip the page. And that works very well.
So Dawn,
Yeah.
if we are deciding that 184 is too fast, what would you recommend we go down to? I mean, you can go wherever we're comfortable. What would you-
Wherever you're comfortable, yeah. Yeah.
That's not what I wanted for an answer.
I know. The answer is yes, wherever you want to go.
Thank you.
Now go.
Yeah, just try a couple of things and see what works best for you. Okay? No worries. And
Setup
then,
comes up at 2.
pardon?
Song setup comes up at 92.
Aha. Now, 92 times 2 is what?
180.
184.
184. So you're actually playing it at 184 if you've got it set at 92. Now that's because you've got on a song setup that's bringing up a rhythm that's going to give you a lot of stuff going on. Okay, for example, if I went to the train, which is not a good rhythm for this, but if I just went to the train and set it at 184, oh, yeah, it's going to sound crazy, crazy, crazy. So there are
Good one.
some backgrounds that if you take that and make it a 92, and I'm just going to go to keypad, 9, 2, touch the tempo, it automatically changes now, so I don't have to worry about scrolling. Now you could play Top of the World. You actually could. But you're still playing it at 184. Is
Dawn,
there
I have
anybody?
a question.
Go ahead.
When you say one of the rhythms could be country swing
Mhm.
and you like a country guitar,
Mhm.
okay. Do you save a preset to have that happen or does it come up?
You could do the presets then you could still follow these presets. You could still follow these presets with country swing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I see. That's
It'll
right.
come
I
out pretty
forgot my
good.
presets were there. Okay.
Yeah, it'll still come
Okay.
out pretty good. I did mine on basic country, and I'm on country 1.
Yep.
Okay, basic country. And I'm taking off the orchestra plus. So I'm getting this. You just want a basic beat. Just a basic beat. Now I also set my next preset on my foot so that I don't have to reach up and touch all the time. You
Mhm.
do whatever's comfortable for you.
Mhm.
And if you're not sure how to do that, make sure you go to your nearest store and ask your favorite PA how to do that. And that way it just frees up your hands so you can keep playing.
Mhm.
I'm actually starting the body of the song on rhythm preset, or not rhythm preset, my preset, custom preset 3. The first 2 presets I'm using on my intro.
Okay.
Okay, now are there any questions about the roadmap since that's what we just did?
Nope.
Nope? Okay. 1972, this was composed by Richard Carpenter and John Bettis and recorded by the pop duo The Carpenters. It was a #1 hit, and it was on the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks in 1973. Originally, it was not supposed to be released as a single. It was only supposed to be an album cut, just something to fill the space on the album. But country singer Lynn Anderson liked the song so much that she covered it, and it became a #2 hit on the country charts. So, if Lynn Anderson could make it a #2 hit, and it's their song, why shouldn't they release it as a single, which is what they did. And so they released it as a single, and it went straight to the top. This was the duo's second of 3 #1 singles. The first single was Close to You, and the third single was Please Mr. Postman. They had a lot of singles come out. So, you know, if you love the Carpenters, they just have so many cool songs. But this was one that was a little bit more country, and I think they did it country because Lynn Anderson made it popular on the country charts. So they kind of kept it with that genre. I'm going to play it. I'm going to use my presets, and you can follow along. I want you to make sure you have the roadmap, and I want you to listen. What am I adding? What am I taking out? And see if you can tell a little bit about where some of the changes are. And then I'll go through and tell you what I did. Here we go with the introduction. No, I did the ending that was here, but I used the same sound that I used in the intro. I went back to that piano and I just used what was here.
Oh, because that threw me off. I go, where's she playing? Where's she playing? So
No,
you used the same, yeah, you used
I
A1
used
or A2.
exactly what was written right here. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, but I did a couple of things. Did you hear a golden harp?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Now the golden harp was actually, I had to change the rate on the golden harp. All right, so there's several things in here that I did. A lot of stuff that I did was just adding and taking away string tabs. Because sometimes I had just the guitar, and then sometimes there's a string in there, it just made it a little fatter. Then I added some more strings, made it even bigger, and then I went totally to a different, I added some vocals. So basically I just did a lot of changing of the tabs, and that's all on the preset page. Like I already told you where the mistake was. When I scan it over, I'll just have it written in as an 8 instead of a 4. And so that's where that is. Now, where are those changes? Yeah, that's what you need to know. It'll already be written on the introduction. A1 is right there, and A2 is right there. Okay? And A3, yeah, A3 is actually on there too because I've got the first, I always put the first measure of the song, but the first measure of the song, you're going to go to A3. So you're actually starting the body of the song on A3. Do you see how easy you could actually just use one background, one sound, and just by pressing a duet or a harmony or changing an octave or going to the lower keyboard, you could play the whole song and be absolutely fine. You do not need any of these presets. So why do I do them? So that you can push the buttons on your instrument and learn where some stuff is. And that's basically all I'm doing that for. So A3, also you want to put at the beginning, comma, A7. So the second time you do the song, you will be on A7. So A3, A7 at the beginning. Then we're going to go to page 297, line 3, between the second and third measure. Right before you do everything I want the world to see, you're going to put A4, comma, A8. So the first time you play it, it'll be A4. The second time you play it, you'll just kick and it'll go to A8. All right, let's turn the page, page 298. Third line, right before, and the reason is clear. You can do it on the measure line if you want, or you can do it in the middle of the measure where you have the pickup notes, the B flat and the C. You're going to put A5. Now, you're not going to put a comma because you're not going to change the preset the second time. So it's A5, and then the second time you just play through. All right, let's see. Page 299. The end of line 2, those of you that have a virtuoso, I want you to write virtuoso up, or virtuoso with an arrow up, because that's going to be the closest thing to heaven that I've seen. And then you're going to do one of these with your left hand, and then you're going to go right into playing the next part. So the beginning of line 3, where you made the silly sign, it's going to be A6, comma, A9. Now, if you can't get that virtuoso in there, don't worry, because that's a lot of stuff to be doing. So no worries. So beginning of line 3 is your silly sign, A6, A9. Let's turn the page. Whoop. Don't do that to me. Okay. At the end of the first ending, you can put A3 if you want. Or I'm sorry, A7. A7, because you already did A3. You can put A7 at the end of the first ending, so you know to get there before you get to the beginning of the song. Mm-hmm. Page 301. Then at the end of the second ending, you're going to go back, but you're not going to change the preset. You're going to just stay on the same preset, go back to the silly sign, and keep playing. Now, right after those parallel lines, line 2, measure 2 of page 301, line 2, measure 2, where the instrumental starts, you're going to put A10. A10. And that's going to be that final. Now, if you like that sound, you could actually have played the whole song with that 70s piano, and it would sound absolutely wonderful. But I just thought because it's more of a country song, the country guitars would sound better on that. Questions?
That 70s piano came out of which rhythm?
That came out of a category preset. Aha! So your first couple of presets, you're going to first start with category country number 5. And hopefully it's going to be the pedal steel with harmony. If it's not, find one of your country presets, and I'm not sure Fanfare, Inspire, I did not check to make sure that your country, sometimes your categories are a little different, but go to your categories and find the one that has your pedal steel. So if it's not number 5, you want to cross out number 5 and change it, but it is pedal steel with harmony, and that's,
Dawn,
yes.
what does that mean, pedal steel?
Pedal steel, if you've ever seen guys in country bands, and I know you're not a country music fan that much, but even in your Alan Jackson songs, if you watch the band, there's always a guy sitting, and he's got like a little table in front of him,
Yeah.
and he's got like a glass thing on one of his fingers that he rubs across the strings, and he's
Oh, yeah.
picking, and he's got pedals underneath him that's causing those strings to do different things.
Oh.
That's pedal steel. Now, what does it sound like? It sounds like this. That's pedal steel sound.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so
Yeah, I've heard that.
yeah, so if you watch your country bands, it's the guy that's sitting at a table, and he usually uses a slide.
Yep, that's what.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And he's picking the strings over here, and he's using a slide, and he's using pedals underneath to give him all of that wonderful sound.
Okay.
Dawn,
Yeah.
when I put it in on mine, the tempo comes up at 148. Should I bump it up to the 184? Is
Try
this
it at
not-
148 and see if it works. They
Okay.
obviously slowed it down on the smaller instruments, which is
All right.
fine. And then if
Okay.
you want to pump it up later, you may.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
148 sounds good to me.
I'll try that. And if it doesn't
This does
sound-
go. 184
doesn't
is
sound
pretty
right,
fast. Yep.
well, let's 148. And if
Yeah.
if it doesn't sound right,
Well,
then I'll bump it up.
Then pump it up. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's going to take a little bit of time because you don't really have any time to rest in this song. Now,
Yeah.
that being said, if you need to take an extra measure someplace where you've got some of these longer notes, do it. Put in an extra measure. Do a fill in and just
Okay.
until you can get a page turned or until you can get to the next preset or you can until your fingers can just take a little bit of a rest.
Dawn, I
It's
have a
your
question
song.
about A5.
Uh-huh.
It says Golden Heart,
Huh?
turn Genius sound off.
Correct.
And I forgot where to find that.
Okay, your Genius sound. Now, on yours, you're probably going to have to go to your Golden Harp, and you'll see a page that says Rate and Sound.
Okay.
Okay? And you want to turn that sound off. You know why? Because I'm having you do this. I'm having you do a, at the end of that virtuoso up, I did not like the sound that it chose.
Okay.
I didn't like the sound that was there. I just wanted the harp. So if you turn the sound off, then you're ready to do this.
Okay, I just forgot where that page was. Thank you.
It's on rate and sound. Mhm.
Okay,
And then you're also going to do, where else am I using golden harp? G- Remember, your golden harp sound affects your virtuoso. So whatever sound you choose for your golden harp, it's going to be your virtuoso unless you've chosen something else for that. But in most cases, that's the sound for here. When you do put the golden harp on, you want to go to an up and down pattern, but you want to go to the rate 1 per beat so that you're not getting. You want to do 1 per beat, and that you find at the bottom of the page. Some of you have it, it'll say rate and sound. This one tells me pattern, and I'm going to go up and down, and at the bottom of the page it says rate. And when I touch rate, I can do normal. That's normal. You don't want that. 1 per beat. It just gives me enough of a change to add to my second verse. That's why I did it. Okay? But it also helps you to learn about your golden harp, because this is something we use quite frequently. And if we're not, what a wonderful tool it is. You should be using it. Yeah, it's a
so another
wonderful.
question.
Yeah.
When we turn that sound off, do we have to turn it back on before number A7?
Nope, because if you turn it, that's actually a very good question. If you turn that sound off, the default sound is a harp.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great,
see?
thanks.
If you turn the sound off, if you turn the sound on, now that's when you can make it whatever you want. You can make it bells or wood block or brass or. That's not a harp, that's brass. You can make it. You don't want that. If we turn it off, it just defaults to a harp sound, which is a little bit softer and a little bit nicer. Okay?
Okay,
Good
thanks.
question. Very good question. Yep. Okay, now you probably also noticed that when my hands were going from lower octave to upper octave. Where did I do that? All right, I'm on normal octave for most of it. And then when I get to page 299, line 3 where the silly sign is, basically it's the chorus, I'm adding harmonies. And when you add harmony, a lot of times you want to go up the octave anyway because your harmony is going to be playing these notes in this range. So all I wrote was 8 VA and some dotted lines. Now you don't have to make the dotted lines through the whole chorus because it'll look messy and you don't want to do that. But I just did octave 8 VA, and you just know you're going to play the whole chorus up an octave. So entire page 300 is up an octave. The top line of page 301 is up an octave. When you get to the first ending, at the end of that F, put a little bracket down and write the word loco, because what that means is you are going to go back to the original location when you go back to the beginning of the song. So when you go back to the beginning of the song, you're not going to play it up here. You're going to play it back down here, original location. That's what loco means. It doesn't mean Beverly's going to get on the bar and dance like a wild woman, although I'm sure she's done that.
I'll never forget that. I'd never heard that.
No, loco does not mean crazy. It means location. So when you see that at the end of your dotted lines with a little bracket going down, it'll say loco, and that means you put your hand back down to the original octave location.
Right.
Okay? Now the second and third time, you're also going to do that. You're going to play that F. We're on page 301, second line. You're going to play that F for world, and at the end of that held F, you're going to put that dotted line and a little bracket down, and then write the word loco so that your instrumental is going to be the octave below. Okay, so you played the whole chorus up here. Then when I go back to the instrumental, my hand comes back down here, and that's how you notate it with the word loco. It means come back down the octave. See, you've already learned a couple of things today. That's a good thing. Now, what happens if you feel like playing the song all in one octave? Are the organ police going to come by and yell at you? I don't think so. It's your song. You make of it what you want. But if you learn one thing, then you're 100% successful today. Let's add some chords. Oh, do we have to, Mom? Yes, we do.
I knew that was coming. There were too many spaces on these pages.
Okay, any questions up until now?
I don't think so.
Nope, you guys did good. Yep, very good. All right, let's go back to page 296, page 1. Line 1, second measure. The C chord is good for 2 counts. Over the D, for the word over, put a B flat, butterfly flat. Now, if you're on a C7, you have to completely release before putting that B flat down. You can't just raise your pinky and think it's going to change. If you're on a C7, you must release before putting that B flat down.
I thought you told us to stay on the C. Instead of, right? It's for good for 2 counts and put in C.
Nope, a B flat.
E. She said
Oh.
butterfly.
You're putting a butterfly flat in on beat 3.
Okay, yeah, I got that. I
Okay.
have that.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
Then the next line, third measure. Over the C for the word wonder, put in an A minor, alligator minor, C and A. Third line, the C is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the B flat, put a B flat, butterfly flat. Fourth line, second measure, make the C a C7 if you wish. Page 297, top line. The F is good for 1 measure. Measure 2. Over the A for the word eyes, put a D minor, dinosaur minor, which is D and F. Everything's good now till we get to the last line of that page. The C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the D, put a B flat, butterfly flat. Turn the page. Page 298, top line. Second measure over the C for coming. Put an A minor, alligator minor, C and A. Nothing hard, just needed to fill some of these in. Line 2, the C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the B flat, put a B flat, butterfly flat. Page 298, last line, first measure, make the C a C7. Page 299, first line, first measure, over the A for the word here, make it a D minor, dinosaur minor, D and F. Nothing hard. Remember, this is country music. You're not going to have a lot of hard stuff. Okay, now, I have some suspended fourth chords, but they go so fast, I'm not even going to give them to you because it's, first of all, if you have to turn pages, it's too hard to get them in and try turning your pages, so we're going to forget about them. So we're good now until the end of the song. Page 301, third line. First beat over that A is an F. Now you're still on an F, but just write it in anyway so you can.
Okay, wait a minute. The third, what line? Page
Thr-
300?
301. No, page 301. We're at
Oh,
the last
301.
page.
My God, there's another
Last
page.
page. Yep.
Where the A is?
Where the A is, put an F chord. Now you're on an F chord already, but just write the F in so that you can see it easier. Beat 3 over the B flat, put a B flat, butterfly flat. Third line, second measure, F and B flat. Again, over the A, put an F. Over the B flat, put a B flat. Fourth line, over the A, put an F. Over the B flat, put a B flat. Over the A, the last 3 notes, put an F. Over the E,
Dawn.
put a C.
Dawn,
Yes.
I just lost you there.
Okay. You need the last line?
Yes.
Okay, last line. Over the A, put an F, fish. Third beat over the B flat, put a B flat, butterfly flat. And the last 3 notes, you're going to have 1 chord per note. Over the A, put an F, fish. Over the E, put a C, chicken. And over the F, put an F, fish. Now, if you don't want to do those, just make sure you end on F. Because
Okay,
it goes
thank you.
fast. It
Thank
ends on
you.
F. Now, what I did is I played that last, well, let's get to, I played that last F as a full-fingered chord, meaning that under the F, you're going to put a C and an A. Stack it up. F, C, A. Now, if you don't want to do that, just play the F. It's okay. And then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to want to write the word in there. Stop. Stop. Just hit the stop. And that way your chord is the last thing people hear. Whoops. Number 10. So that's
Oh,
the
that's
last
nice.
thing people hear is that chord, and it just fades out because it's a piano. It's going to fade out naturally.
Nice.
All right. It's not
Thank
that hard of a song, but it goes fast. That's the hard part. So yes, if you want to try it at 148, Hal, go for it. If that's what it brings up, go for it. Take it slower until you get it. If you don't want to do any of my changes, don't do any of them. It's okay not to.
Well,
May
those
I ask you a
don't
question?
sound hard.
Pardon?
Anything, extra chords and everything don't seem
They're not
anything
hard.
that they're not difficult.
No,
They're
they're not.
nice. They're
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Don't
they make
encourage
it-
her to
yeah.
change them.
Now, you know
Yeah.
why? It's country music. Country music does not add major sevens or all that other stuff. That's 70s pop music or easy listening music. That's when synthesizers first started coming out. And a lot of guitar players, because I was married to one, would sit down and go, oh, I can do some cool things. Oh, is that pretty? Let's see if I put a different bass note on it. Ooh, that's pretty, and just start making stuff up. And that's why all those extra chords started coming into a lot of the easy listening songs and the 70s songs for pop music in the 70s. Now, that's always been around for jazz. That's been, if you played jazz back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, yeah, those piano players were playing all those chords. But when you play country music, it's usually just 3 or 2 chords and maybe a 4th chord, maybe some 7s, a couple of minors, but nothing super out of the ordinary. None of those major 7s, diminished chords. You don't see a lot of that in country music. And in
Done.
rock music, you basically 2 chords, 3 chords, and a lot of times no third. No third. What does that mean? Because instead of playing, it's a power chord. Instead of playing a C chord, they'll play a, just the C and the G. Those are power chords.
Dawn,
Yeah.
I have a question on page 297, last line. You put a B flat over.
Correct.
No.
Correct. A B flat goes over the D for the word world.
Okay, I did it right. Okay. Thank you.
Dawn,
Yeah,
Dawn,
yeah.
Dawn. Is there any way, my computer was all screwed up. I missed half the class. Is there any way that you can very quickly go over where the presets are?
I can redo that. Not a problem. The
Real
intro,
quick.
you've already got A1 and A2 and A3 on the intro. Okay, when you get to
And
the
A-
top of the page, A3 is going to be at the beginning of the song, comma
A3.
A7 at the beginning of the song.
Oh, I have that. I have that at the bottom of the music, the intro
Correct,
sheet.
but on the top of this page, you might just want to write A3, comma A7.
Okay.
All right, now, page 297, and everybody else can review this as well. Line 3, between the second and third measure, A4, comma A8.
Got it.
Turn the page. Page 298, third line, and the reason. You can do it either on the measure line or right over the B flat for and the. That's A5. All right, now let's go over to page 299, third line. Third line at the beginning of the line, you're going to have a silly sign because you're going to write one in. You're also going to write A6, comma A9.
And that's where you go up an octave?
Yes, that's where you go up an octave. Correct. You did come in at the right time for that. Excellent.
Yeah.
And your A10 goes on page 301 where it says instrumental.
Got it.
Second line. That's it. Yep.
Okay. Did I miss anything else? What was the tempo?
Tempo is on your sheet. It's 184. Now, if anybody
Yeah,
missed,
right.
if anybody missed a lot of things, that's what Patreon is for. You can go back and watch it at your leisure. Now, here's something about Patreon. I have been getting lots of complaints that Tin Man went up late or wasn't going up at all. Okay, and that's Robert's fault. I did talk to him about that. And he said because he had a lot of things going on last week, he had a lot of extra classes going on, he staggers putting things on Patreon. So Tin Man, I think, went up yesterday.
It did.
Yeah. So
He
it
did.
was late. It was a week late. But
Yes, it was.
it's always like 4, 5, 6, 7 days after the fact. So if you need help on something immediately, or you need to get the sheet scanned to you immediately because you just have to work on it, absolutely email me or come in the store and ask me for help, and I'm more than happy to help you with it over the phone or in the store or scan you what you need, because Robert said, yeah, have some patience with him. He's always 4 to 5 days out, if not more.
Mhm.
Okay? But just be patient because it will eventually go up on Patreon, and then you can go back and do it slowly at your leisure. Very cool. I still have fingering for those of you who need it. So the rest of you, thank you for coming. Go to halleonard.com and look for the 60s books, the Essential 60s and the Decade series. Check the songs because we'll pick one of those. If you absolutely hate those books, I need to know that as well so we can pick something different. And the song for next week will be 25 or 624. Love this song. Love this song. This is Chicago.
Oh,
And the Tower of Power. Yeah, Tower of Power is a brass section. I've actually met some of them personally. They're just regular guys who can play the heck out of a horn. Wow. Yep. So that'll be next week. We'll do 25 or 624.
okay.
So for those of you who need fingering, get your pencils out. Let's do this. For the rest of you,
Bye,
for
thank
coming.
you.
You are so awesome. Okay, page 296. C1, A5, G4, F3, E2, F3. D can either be 1 or 2, E3. Next line, C1. A2, B flat 3, C4, 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 A2, G1, A2, B flat 3, G1, A2, B flat 3, C4, D5, D5, B flat 3, G1, G1, D5. Let's go to page 297, top line, C4, B flat 3, C4, A2, G1, A2. Second line, B flat 3, B flat 3, A2, B flat 3, A2, G1, F3. Circle it, that is a crossover. Low C1, C1, A5, G4, F3. Last line on that page, E2, F3, D can be 1 or 2, E3, and C1. Turn the page. A2, B flat 3, C4, C4, C4. A2, G1, A2, B flat 3, D5, C4, third line B flat 3, C4, D5, D5, B flat 3, G1, G1, B flat, I'm sorry, it's a D, D5, C4, B flat 3, C4. Let's go to the top of page 299. Whoop, Levon somehow mixed there. All right, top of page 299, A2, G1, A2, B flat 3, B flat 3, B flat 3, A2, B flat 3, A2, G1, F3 with a circle, low C1. All right, here we go with the chorus. C1, F2, G3, A4, 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 B flat 5, A4, G3, F2, check mark, D4, 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 turn the page, E flat 5, D4, C3, B flat 2, A1, put a little arrow on the next C, make it a 4, C4, C4, A2, second line, G1, A2, B flat 3, D5, C4. The B flat can either be a 2 or a 3, doesn't matter. C1, circle it, that is a thumb tuck. Third line, D2, C1, D2, E3. D2, E3, F4, 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 C1, D2, C1, B flat 3, circle it, that's a crossover. A2, C4, B flat 3, A2. Last page, top line, G1, F3 with a circle, that's a crossover. E2, F3. Second and third ending, F3. At the end of the held F, do a check mark. Your instrumental is B flat 3, A2, G1. Next line, A2, A2, B flat 3, G1, A2, A2, B flat 3, G1. Last line, A2, A2, B flat 3, G1, A2, E4, 5. And if you're doing the chord, it's F5, C2, A1. Those ones. Any questions? I know it was a little fast.
No.
Very cool. Thank you.
Very good. You did a great job.
This was a fun song to play. It
That'll be
really,
fun.
it really is. And remember, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. So no worries. If you learned one thing today, if you learned about your tabs, if you learned about your what the virtuosos do with the sounds, if you learned about your golden harp with the rate, if you learned about doubling your
Loco.
tempo, 184, 92. You know, if you learned about that, if you learned about loco,
Loco.
correct. Yeah. If
Can you
learned
tell me
Yeah.
where you're adding the golden harp?
Yeah, golden harp is going to be added in on A7, so it's the second time you play through the whole song.
From the beginning?
Yeah. Yep. Missed fingering on Sherry. I have 2 Sherrys on today. Sherry, did you miss the entire page of 298?
What Sherry?
Other Sherry. Other Sherry. She's up north. Yes, okay. All of page 298. For those of you who don't need me anymore, thank you so much for coming. You are awesome. Otherwise, I'm going to give Sherry up north her fingering for page 298. Here we go. A2.
Thank you, Dawn.
You guys are so good.
You too.
A2, B flat 3, C4, 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 A2, G1, A2, B flat 3, D5, C4. Third line, B flat 3, C4, D5, D5, B flat 3, low G1, G1, D5, C4, B flat 3, C4. Okay, anybody else? Now's the time. Now's your chance. Nope. Have fun playing this song. It is a blast to play. It really is, as are most of the songs in this book. And if you have any questions, don't forget you can email me 5028@fletchermusic.com, or do not be afraid to go to your local store and ask your PA, that is your professional personal assistant, to help you with doing some of this. Because if you are reading this and I went a little fast for you, sometimes you need somebody to just show you hands-on how it works. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I'll see you all next week or next time.